I'm just interested in the privileging of the unconscious mind, as it were. I was under the impression that a great deal of work had been done to destroy the psychoanalytical understanding of the unconscious. It seems to me, in a way, that you're almost resurrecting it. Is that the case?
But I think it's very wide recognized there's a lot of work happening now on unconscious processes. There's a hell of a lot going on.
But you're not concerned with the libido and this sort of thing?
Well, the terminology is slightly different because there was a lot in what Freud said. He had fMRI imaging, I think, to work on. He would have had a lot more to say about it. Extraordinarily well without that.
Sure. But I mean, the idea of rationality, as it were, clearly was driven, as far as psychoanalysis was concerned, by other than rational processes, would it not? I mean, in a sense, I would have thought that you're saying that everything is good thought, it's there in the unconscious and it comes out, and you think that it's your idea, and it's not. That assumes that there's a rationality in the unconscious mind that, say, Freud was not terribly concerned to underwrite, or have I got it wrong?
What do you mean by rationality in this?
Well, I mean, you're saying, aren't you, that the idea that we make decisions as such, seen in terms of free will, are regarded as conscious choices, which we would regard consciously as being rational decisions. But you're saying that they somehow come to us from the unconscious mind, which presumably therefore must have a rational content, because otherwise, if it didn't, you wouldn't be able to ascribe rationalism to the actions that you were taking or the decisions you made.
I don't know if it's necessary to ascribe rationalism to the decisions one takes in order to think that it is a choice or a decision.
Yeah, well, you tend to think so. You tend to think you're making a choice.
I mean, I think that if you understand the will as a sort of rational capacity, which I've been suggesting we should, that doesn't rule out lots of operations of the will being bloody irrational, because capacities can malfunction.
Indeed.
And they can also be subject to influences that aren't particularly immediately related to their specific functions, that capacity. And so I think to take seriously the model of the mind as involving, to an important degree, various different kinds of capacity for responding to reasons, should not lead one to over-rationalise the actual functioning of the actual psychological processes we go in for. And I think it leaves plenty of room for you to continue to accommodate the strange embarking on human life in the way that one probably wants to do.
Or just the fulfillment of desire?
Yeah, absolutely.
The short answer to your question is yes, I do think that what we take to be deliberate and conscious decisions are driven, come from the unconscious mind, which is the machinations of the unconscious mind that brings them about.
Does that mean, just from the way you're posing it, that actually there is no rational content to those decisions?
If you mean by intentionality that they are driven towards a goal, that they're goal-oriented, then yes, I think they are. If that is.
But the goal itself is illusionary?
No, the goal might be very, very real biological goal, seeking food or
so
sex or something.
How does that relate, say, to people who, I don't know, take people who wanted to abolish slavery, let's take it as
altruism.
Well, altruism and political action as well, coming together through, thought processes and people coming together and actually transforming something which now, worldwide is seen morally as unacceptable, but a couple of hundred years ago wasn't.
Well, I'm going to simplify by saying, how do you ever get an altruistic? Is that because that's really what?
No, I'm asking something more than that. I'm saying, is there no rational content to that desire, or there's obviously some moral content, but is there something rational about the desire to transform your society, for example? Because I think that's an important one to think about.
I'm sure there is. I mean, I sort of don't feel that that seems to me to be a matter of history and sociology and all sorts of other things. I don't think that that's sort of...
But don't we create history and sociology?
Well, that's why I said you could take it back to the individual people if you want to look at what actually creates a desire to change something or to do good or to work with other people, any one of those components that leads to the result that you're talking about. Then we can talk about it in the sort of terms that I've been talking, but you can't look at it from the other side and say what brings about the abolishment of slavery from the point of view of what happens in a new world. You're looking at it from the wrong end of the telescope.
Okay, how about this question that is...
I don't agree, but yeah, go on.
Thank you. But there's the question that
Well,
this lady...
I think it's rather, these two rather sort of come together. I mean, that moment of eureka, for example, you talked about the creative people have. There was, again, a fascinating study, just recently a brain scanning study, showing that sort of moment of aha happening, actually, in people's brains. Astonishing how they managed to have it happen in that moment. They put them in this guy. And, I mean, it does show what one might have guessed, supposed happened, which is that it is this sort of sudden coming together of a lot of neural processes that have been happening unconsciously for a long time in memory, pulling on various associations, a whole lot of stuff that has been happening, which, as you, in a sort of example you gave, going on for weeks and weeks, sort of, part boiling on the back burners, which suddenly come to the boil and become conscious. So again, it's the coming to consciousness of unconscious processes.
So you're saying that the unconscious processes are the very root. That's.
I'm saying that the brain is constantly doing things without bringing them into consciousness until it's got something or some reason to bring it into consciousness.
Okay. That gentleman at the back, are you happy with?
Just on that, I mean, that hasn't addressed rationality, I might come back to you, but just on that point, I think a good example to agree with what you just said is at the lower level with creative writing, we talk about this experience, if you're doing a crossword puzzle, you can't get an answer, you put it away, you bring it out a day later, you've got it. And there must be unconscious stuff going on for it suddenly to come into your mind later.